Our final session puts that question firmly in the hot seat. We welcome back Mr. Manav Thadani, Chairman of Hotelivate. Known for asking the questions people think but do not always say out loud, this is not a session that is designed to be comfortable. Joining him on stage as panelists are Ms. Alison Grinnell, Group COO, Marjan and CEO, Marjan Hospitality, Mr. Rahul Chaudhary, Managing Director and CEO, CG Corp Global, Mr. Ronald Phillip, VP Investment and Corporate Development at the Dubai World Trade Centre, and Mr. Vijay Raghavan, Director, Golden Sands Hotels. Welcome to the hot seat.
Thank you. I think we are standing in between the drinks and where we are, so. It's great to be back on stage. Alison, since you're right next to me, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your role in your portfolio?
Sure. I guess a lot of people will have realized that RAK Hospitality is now merged with Marjan. So in Ras Al Khaimah, we've now created really an integrated real estate development and hospitality company with everything that's happening in Ras Al Khaimah, with all the developments and obviously with the Wynn Resort. This was something that was key to make sure that we can achieve all the goals that we've got, achieve the 78 priority projects we're currently working on. You need your whole team working together, and that was really why we did that. I'm the COO of the group and the CEO for the hospitality vertical.
Great. Thank you. Rahul?
First of all, Manav, thank you for inviting me to the event. A little bit about me. I'm Rahul, the MD for CG Corp Global. We are a family out of Nepal and part of a diversified conglomerate of over 15 different business verticals, over 30,000 family members in 45 different countries. Hospitality is one of our larger businesses where we have close to 250 hotels in 12 countries and close to 20,000 keys. The group also owns the Taj GLT here and just recently launched the JW Marriott in Dubai Island.
Great. Ronald?
Hi, I'm Ronald Phillip. I lead investment and corporate development for the Dubai World Trade Centre. DWTC owns two prime districts, one in the heart of Dubai, the historic Trade Centre district, and a new district in Expo City. These are live, work, play, meet districts anchored by the two biggest convention centers in the region, but we also have an office district. We have a small portfolio of hotels, 4, and that will grow with the passage of time.
Thank you. And Vijay, thank you for being on the advisory board, for helping me put together this
Thank you, Manav, for keeping us all mic'd up at 6 p.m. on a Friday. Jokes aside, it's been a pleasure working with Manav. A pleasure to be on his advisory panel. We have been talking about this for the last, 6 to 8 months, and good to see, I think, this kind of a turnout and the output in the year 2 of your Think Middle East. Wishing you more, Manav.
Thank you.
About myself, Vijay Raghavan from Arenco Group. I am a board member across all the business verticals, and of course, what's relevant today is the hotels. And yesterday, my banking experience helped me moderate a bankers panel. Coming back to hospitality, we are probably the largest non-governmental real estate and hospitality player in this region, in this market. Various other business verticals. It's good we have been part of the Dubai growth story over the last 4 or 5 decades as a group, and my fortune has been to be with the group for the last 3 decades.
Great. I'll stick with you since there. The importance of brands. Do you think you can operate hotels independently, or do you need brands today?
We actually were the pioneers in having our own branded short-term apartments, or hotel apartments, as we called as Golden Sands, which is completing almost 50 years next year. But we felt as the times rolled on and as international brands started coming into the market, we felt the need for having a brand. In fact, when we designed and built our first hotel beach resort, we were actually thinking of doing it as a Golden Sands, which was a very popular brand by then. But when we quickly realized that we don't have what's really required to bring international customers, basically the loyalty program, which used to be in the past, used to deliver up to about 40% of our business. The times have changed. When we signed our first HMA, there was nothing called an online booking. There was nothing called an OTA. We are going back 35 years. The world has changed a lot. So we felt the need for having multiple brands. Today we work across all the big boys of the world, but also retain our own brand when it comes to our core businesses, which we operate as hotel apartments. There are merits in both, and it's an ongoing point for discussion, and that's what helps us.
Right. Ronald, what's your view? I know you have 3 or 4 assets and you've got more coming up.
Yeah, so I mean, given our context and our location and our portfolio, brands matter.
Right.
Our hotels that are connected to the convention center, I mean, we drive demand for those hotels from the 6 months of exhibitions, but the remainder of the year, we need them to perform well, and that's where the brands and distribution matter. We also have specific objectives, like we wanted to liven up our district. So we wanted a really exciting lifestyle brand, and that's why we brought in 25 Hours. And Lewis had made that presentation about how they've really brought our district to life. So the brands do matter.
Yeah, and you were talking about it earlier. We were talking about you're doing a bigger entertainment district behind that. So
that's correct. So I mean, and that's the great thing with brands, right? We have extended our partnership with Ennismore. Behind the 25 Hours, we have Dubai's first licensed street, which is called 25 Jump Street. So year-round, the idea is that we have, it really becomes a live, work, play destination for the heart of the city.
What do you mean by licensed street? Can you?
Alcohol.
Okay. Sorry, pardon my ignorance. Pardon my ignorance.
That's all you're licensed to do. I mean, nothing else. Huh?
Okay, fair enough. Rahul, what do you think? You actually, from what I know, you've dabbled with both independent and branded, so perhaps you're the right person to answer this.
No, yes. So I'll answer this question in 2 parts. I would say that initially when we started in the hospitality space, I would say 25 years back or so with our partners, Taj, we were learning the ropes of hospitality, so obviously having a brand with us was very, very important. But as we evolved in the hospitality space, I would say, and our focus as a group has always been in frontier and emerging markets. And absolutely agree with my panel members that branded properties are now very, very important. And but having said that, still there are markets like Nepal, like Philippines, where a lot of the market is driven by domestic traffic itself. And we have seen that, and it's not any brand's fault, but that's how the market is. It's not ready for a big brand, and it's not ready for the investors or owners to really take on the costs that big brands bring with them. And the whole idea of taking on these costs is that you are able to get on the people through their network as well. So yes, I do agree that brands are very, very important, especially now. I mean, Saurabh's session talked a lot about the loyalty programs. And that is the reason why we all get brands. But it also, I believe, depends on which market you are and what drives the market that really determines whether a brand is important or not. So it goes both ways, I would say.
Sure. Alison, before I come, can we put the poll question up? And for those of you who want to poll, there is a QR code that you can take and then poll directly as well. But Alison, what does success look like at RAC in the next 5 years? Is it more keys, Is it more a better mix or the deeper value per asset?
So I think it's a mixture. I mean, if you look at where we are across the UAE as a whole, you know, there's been discussions, are we overbuilt? I don't think we're overbuilt if we look at the UAE as a whole. I think we are unevenly supplied, if I put it that way. I think there are areas whereby we don't have enough experiential assets, so we focused on keys rather than experiences, and I think a lot of what you've heard today is about what those next level of experiences are going to be. In Ras Al Khaimah, we're in a slightly different scenario in that we haven't had a huge supply, so we're building the supply now, but what we're trying to build is, it's not about just building keys, it's about building distinction. We need to make sure we're not building everything in one segment, whether that's luxury segment, whether that's branded residences. For me, we have to build distinction because we're not trying to compete with Dubai, we're not trying to compete with Abu Dhabi, we're trying to create our own destination that complements the other destinations, and that's only really achieved by distinction.
Nice. So I can see it's a live poll, so we've got, I think, 6 or 8 votes which have come in, but it seems to be trending towards luxury and ultra-luxury. It's interesting because when we had the branded residences panel, the room was packed, but it's still a very distant second.
But Manav, if I can add, in spite of that being called as more supplied, that particular segment of luxury and ultra-luxury last year did almost 95% occupancy in Dubai. So
Right.
let it be oversupplied.
Right. Vijay, I'm trying to... What's your most expensive mistake you've made?
As an individual or as in the company?
No, we won't go personal here.
I think we do make mistakes. That mistakes sometimes include choice of brands, that include some of the F&B concepts. The thing is how quickly you are able to realize, accept, and move on. As we speak, we are currently rebranding 2 of our outlets in a very, very well-known hotel. Yeah, the issue is when you open, Dubai is easily now the F&B capital of the world. And when you open 5 restaurants in a hotel, it's more likely than not that not all of them succeed. 1 or 2 of them suffer. And take a quick call. Look at the future rather than what we have invested. Bite the bullet, move on, change of concept. And we have made mistakes, and we think we are quick to recover out of it.
Right. Ronald?
What we could have done differently, I think, in an instance is we have an office district where we have the offices, the Middle East headquarters of some of the biggest consulting firms in the region. And we built a 3-star hotel there, and we went with a particular brand. And if anyone knows consultants, they're very picky about which hotels they choose, and it's normally because of loyalty points. So if we could go back in time, we would have probably done a 4 or a 5 and thought about the loyalty programs that the consultants prefer to stay at.
Sure, sure. Rahul?
As an investor and owner of hotels, I would say some of the big mistakes that we would have made in the past was probably not bought hotels which we should have. And that was more...
So what's that one hotel that you missed out on? We want to know that. Look, you don't own it. It's okay.
Okay, so I'll give you an example of a hotel long time back.
You're going to name it, right?
Yeah, of course,
Okay.
I'll name it. No problem
Check
at all.
it. Please check it.
This was, I think, when we just started off in the hospitality space, and this is the Shangri-La in Delhi. I think at that point in time...
Kanishka, the old Kanishka.
Old Kanishka. So at that point in
remember
time, when this property was being offered, we were just stepping into the hospitality field. And of course, at that point in time, cash was limited, right? And you would only make a decision purely on the basis of the lowest, without thinking about what is the future of that market. And I don't even remember. I think the deal was transacted 20 years back at less than...
2001, and I'm so glad you weren't there because I was the transaction advisor on that, so...
So it was virtually nothing.
Your loss was my gain, so it's okay.
So I would say at that point in time was to not look at the future of what that market and the country holds. And of course, you know, my father always says this, in those times you would make a decision by way of gut feel. But now...
So it was your father's mistake, not yours. It's okay, I'll have a chat with him separately. But Alison, how about you?
Biggest mistake. Do you know what? I think right now it would be not having had all of our other developers on Marjan Island convinced we were actually building the Wynn Resort in the timescale that we said we were going to build it in. So, you know, when we have announced it in January 2022.
Right.
And I think at the time, the immediate reaction from everyone was, these guys are crazy. You know, what are they doing now up in Ras Al Khaimah? And then a year in, it was like, okay, maybe this is happening. But we built down first, so no one could see it. And it's on the island. No one knew we were doing it. And it was only probably 18 months ago that this behemoth started coming out of the ground. And everyone suddenly thought, this is happening. GCGRA announced the federal licensing.
Right.
And all of a sudden, everybody wanted to build very, very quickly. And they are building very, very quickly. But we're maybe a year behind where we would have wanted all the other hotel keys to be at the time that we're going to open the Wynn Resort next year.
Sure, sure. So, you know, in Marjan, or that area, you're basically selling land, right? And you're dependent on other investors making that investment. Do you think there's enough investments that are coming?
I think there's a huge number of investments that are coming, and I think probably most of the people in this room have in some way invested either personally or professionally in what's happening in Ras Al Khaimah. I think if you ask people what they're investing in right now, it's in hotels and it's in branded residences.
Right.
Or badged residences, I call them, rather than branded. But that's because hotels and branded residences are the sexy thing at the moment in the UAE. Where we actually need the investment and where I think there's huge potential for investments is all the ancillary projects that go around such a change in a destination. You know, hospitality itself doesn't drive a destination.
Sure.
The ecosystem drives a destination. So
the integration.
The integration, the roads, the infrastructure, the schools, the hospitals, the staff accommodation, that drives a destination. And we need to make sure we've got a balance of investment coming into those other products as well as just the hotels.
Right. Rahul, I've heard, or maybe I researched a bit, you've often spoken about a 5-country strategy for Africa. Can you just explain what that is?
Sure. You know, we, as I mentioned initially, that our strategy has always been to focus on frontier and emerging markets. And East Africa, when we stepped in 2012, was a market that was just growing. And there were very, very few international brands that were there. So we at first invested in a hotel in Rwanda, quite a beautiful hotel actually, which didn't go down too well with us. We eventually lost that hotel. But we had embarked on a 5-country strategy with Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and Tanzania. So we obviously didn't let go of our resolve and our ambition there. And then we acquired the 2 Fairmont properties from Kingdom Holdings literally one day before COVID. And some people may say we were crazy, but I think it was the best decision if you really ask me. And now we are moving forward with the strategy of doing some of these other hotels, not only in East Africa, also in SADC, also in other markets, but not in the mature markets like South Africa.
Sure, sure. Ronald, you're building the new Dubai Exhibition Centre. Can you tell us how it would be different from the current one?
Yeah, sure. It's double in size. So it's a massive investment by us in growing Dubai as a global MICE hub. So we are investing in a few different parts of the ecosystem. We are building a new venue in Dubai Expo that's double the size of our downtown one. We have an events business which has owned and grown IP like Jitex and Gulf Food over the last 50 years. That business has been merged with the Middle East and Africa events business of Informa PLC of the UK, and that's headquartered in Dubai too. So you'll see a massive growth in our events and the MICE tourism, B2B tourism into Dubai because of these investments. Gulf Food has doubled in size. On Tuesday at our exhibition center, DEC, for the World Health Exhibition, which is formerly called Arab Health, we had 80,000 people coming to the venue. So just imagine the hospitality demand that's driving. So it will, now the exhibition center is next to Maktoum Airport, and it's next to where the main passenger terminal will be. So it's an incredible location. But there's so much happening around that area, Dubai South, and there's Expo City, there's us, and there's so much more coming in, and that really is the future of Dubai.
And when will that get completed? Is it going to be completed soon, or it's already happened, or is
the exhibition center will be completed in 3 phases. We will finish by 2031, including the hotels.
It's a phase.
The airport is scheduled to open the first phase by 2032.
Right. Vijay, a question for you. Are owners truly in control today, or is it the brands, or is it the lenders, or is it the OTAs? You know, who's controlling the...
I think ideally it should be a perfect balance of all the involved parties. Are the owners truly in control today? It depends on which owner. Owners who have experience, owners who have multiple relationships, not only with the same operator, with the different operators like us and a few others here, are certainly in better control than a single property or a few property owner who are dependent on a single operator. What helps, it's a question of scale again, because we also in that business directly, without the brands, both for our hotel apartment division, for rental car division. So we know what's happening in the market. So when we are able to sit across the table with the operator, we are not only able to question them on our own experience and our own inputs, plus also what the other operators are interacting us with. So whether owners are in control, it depends on whom you're talking to. On AI, it's an issue. It's an issue. We don't know what's tomorrow. As I said, when we first signed the first HMA, there was nothing called an online booking. The only way to book a hotel is to call the call center and book. Right. Things have moved on now, and I was listening to Chris Neseta in his full year performance call, and he highlighted, like today morning, I got a WhatsApp where every operator is highlighting the fact that AI is now turning to be a risk, that the AI will drive the booking to online channels through booking.com or Expedia as compared to the operator's own channel. This is something which has been acknowledged by the big bosses of the world. So it's an ongoing challenge. AI, what's going to happen tomorrow, we don't know. Or even today evening, we don't know.
And why do you think that is? Is it that the brands are not spending enough and the booking.coms and the MMTs of the world are spending more money, or?
Yeah, they all got together and tried to do something that didn't work, that was not expected to work from day one. But I think in terms of technology, hotel industry is really far behind what's happening out there. I mean, with due credit to all the operators who are here. And I don't think they will shy away. They would accept it because it's the truth.
Right. And what is Aramco's next big bet?
Big bet on Dubai. Never gone wrong on that. We are expanding massively on our other business lines. That includes the logistics. We are building the largest residential, luxury residential tower for leasing in Dubai at the most sought-after location on Sufu. And we are on the lookout for acquisition. We have done a lot of acquisition, not only in the hospitality, but in other businesses. And we big bet on Dubai. And probably being closer to him, Dubai South could be the next bit area-wise.
Right.
And you asked me what was one of the mistakes we made. I missed out on buying a property in Ras Al Khaimah. The mindset was similar to what she said. I know the owner is actually sitting here who bought it actually. So
right.
We do make mistakes.
Well, we all do, right? Yeah. So Alison, can you tell me a little bit about I don't know how much you can talk about. Can you tell me a little bit about Wynn and how that's going to change the ecosystem? I think it's scheduled to open in 15 months, 18 months?
Spring 27.
Right.
Not to give the exact date away.
That, I don't think anyone knows, but that's...
Spring 27. Look, it's beyond a game changer for the destination. I think we've all appreciated that, and actually I think it's a game changer for the whole UAE region, not just for Ras Al Khaimah. It adds 1,500 keys to our inventory, which sounds like a very small amount, but it's substantial for Ras Al Khaimah. But from a key perspective, we're looking to bring another 8,000 in on top of that. And we only have 8,000 today. So that's doubling your number of keys within 2 years, 3 years, and then tripling them again. When you do that, you change the whole destination. As I've said, the easy part is building the hotel. Clearly, it's not easy. It's a massive undertaking. But then you have to consider all the other factors that you need as well. But when you look at it, we're changing the demographics of who's coming to the destination. We've got huge differences coming in today, far more people coming into the destination than our normal demographic, which has always been UK, Germany, the staycation market and the CIS market. We're seeing a lot more people coming in from Asia Pac now, whether that is China, Korea, Taiwan, lots of differential coming in. Africa is also a big market that's starting to come into Ras Al Khaimah, as is South America. Wynn at the moment only operate in 2 territories. They operate in China and they operate in the US, neither of which are necessarily particularly visa-free countries, although there's a lot that's happening in China to promote tourism there as well. So we do think there's going to be a real change in the people that are coming to the destination. But the gaming is a very small part of it from a size of the operation. It's 5% of the square footage of the whole resort.
Sure.
We've got 22 amazing restaurants, 40 plus retail stores. It's everything that goes around it that I think is really going to change how the destination operates. But if you're looking at where the disruption is, in my mind, it's twofold. It's one, from a talent perspective. Wynn are looking to hire 9,500 employees. That is going to have a phenomenal
Better
impact.
what are all those operators out there, right?
On everybody. It's going to have a phenomenal impact on everybody. So talent is going to be disrupted. And then the other thing that's going to be disrupted is the 24-hour model. Every operator out here is going to tell you, we operate 24 hours a day.
But a casino does operate.
But is it really 24 hours a day? Or if you come to your room at 2 o'clock in the morning, all you can get is a snack or a club sandwich in your room,
Sure.
If you're coming back from Wynn and you haven't had dinner and you're with 6 mates, you're going to want to go and sit in a restaurant. You're going to go and want to sit, So that's going to change the model as well. So there's a lot that I think is going to hit both Ras Al Khaimah and the UAE from a disruption perspective.
Good. That's why we're opening an executive search office in Dubai, so we can help you find those 9,500 people. Rahul, you have a vast portfolio from FMCG to real estate and to other businesses. I think you mentioned 15 businesses. How do you decide where to put capital in where? Is that a family dinner decision or?
Well, it's a very, very easy decision for my brothers, but very difficult decision for me, and I'll tell you why. I mean, I'm sure many of you have heard of the brand YY, right? The noodles. So the group owns that brand, and we manufacture almost 3.5 billion packets of noodles a year. And my father always says that it takes us 6 months to build a factory, and it takes us another 6 months to break even. Whereas they make the money and you spend the money. But the fact here is that hospitality and real estate for us is always a long-term investment, which creates value, which creates capital gains, and also helps in the valuation, I would say, for the group at large, right? So the group has taken a conscious decision that while noodles is good, but I think hospitality is a very important, and real estate-led hospitality is a very important aspect of the business. So focus is more now going towards this in a family business setting for us.
Right. And what's that one non-negotiable deal breaker for you that you will walk away from, even if it's a very compelling, investment opportunity?
You mean between the verticals or?
No. In hospital. Okay, we're coming back to hotels. So.
No, I mean.
Okay, so what's the one non-negotiable deal breaker for you when you're trying to do a deal?
Well, I mean, it depends on different deals, I would say. I mean, as an owner and investor, I would say that I will never buy a deal that is at the market price, I would say. We've always done deals that are below market price or at distress or at stress. And yes, it's very, very challenging in terms of turning those opportunities around. But what's a deal breaker for us, for sure, is in terms of entering into a deal knowing that that is at market or above market. We always look at good deals. We'll wait for it, but we'll look at good deals.
Right. Ronald, we have an audience here of investors. Can you just tell me what kind of opportunities exist for these investors if they wanted to invest with you in the new expansion that you're doing?
Yeah, sure. Actually, there are opportunities across both of our districts, and I think they're underpinned by a couple of Dubai megatrends and then a few UAE megatrends. The downtown of Dubai, the central business district, is doubling in size. DIFC has announced that they are doubling, right? And in our district, we will see a big transformation of our district. We ourselves are investing in an ultra-luxury project behind our One Central office district, and you will see us redeveloping some of our real estate too. So I think you will see a big transformation of the downtown, and there will be opportunities we will look for partners in hotels in downtown. And in our district in Expo City, we will look for, we are open to investment partnerships for our hotels there. We will have a couple of hotels connected to our convention centers and hotels in a mixed-use district that we will have next to the convention center, which, as I mentioned earlier, will be next to the main passenger terminal for the world's biggest airport.
Good. So we're going to play a little bit of rapid-fire, one-word answers. So one word. It's either buy, it's either build, or it's either bail, right? So, and it may not directly relate to the work that you're doing. So, Alison, I'll just start with you. Ultra-luxury desert resorts.
Build.
Rahul?
Build.
Ronald?
Build. Good.
Vijay?
Look the other way.
Good. We'll stick with you. Lifestyle hotels in secondary cities.
Ideally, buy.
Ronald?
Build.
Sorry?
Build.
Build.
Yeah.
Build.
Build.
Okay. All-inclusive resorts in the Middle East.
Build in the right location.
That's more than one word. You're disqualified. Rahul?
Buy.
Buy.
I'd build.
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 Build. Okay. Vijay, branded residences attached to hotels.
We are not into branded residences. I'll give that caveat.
More than one word. One word.
No.
Build, buy, sell, hold.
Build.
Build. Or bail.
Yeah.
Ronald?
Build. We're doing that.
Build.
Build.
This is an interesting one. Converting office buildings to hotel.
Bail.
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 Vijay?
Stay away.
Sorry?
Stay away from the concept.
Stay away. So it's interesting because I have a company where I'm an investor. We've just bought a building, office building, and we're converting that to a W.
When?
And
Good luck.
it'll open. It's going to open next year in Hyderabad, or later this year in Hyderabad. So 176 room. So we'll talk. Hopefully some of you will be there, and we'll talk after that.
Dubai can't get enough office right now. There's a massive shortage.
That's true.
The other answer could be do both.
Right. Okay, we'll stay with you. Tech-driven, low-staff hotel models. Build, buy, bail.
Bail.
Bail. Rahul?
Bail.
Bail.
No,
Ronald? Bail?
Yeah.
Same, Bill.
So all these, I guess, tech-driven, I'm trying to think of a closest hotel. 25 hours? No, that's not
No.
tech-driven, right? Citizen M, Yotel, right? So, okay. If anyone from the audience has some questions, we'll take some of those. But let's start, I'll stick with you. We're closing that rapid fire round, so you guys can speak a few more words if you like. One decision you believe that every owner or investor will regret not making by 2030?
Understanding the impact of AI. And I
That's a
say
very good
understanding rather than implementing it, because I think it's not necessarily the owner that is down to implementing it. You need to get the operators on board, assuming you've got an operator in place to do that. But you can't do it without really understanding what AI is. And I think there's a huge gap between understanding what AI means from a hotel perspective to what it actually can be. I mean, it goes to your question, tech-driven. What does tech-driven mean? Some people will say it means having a robot clean your room, or some robot serve your drink, or automated check-in. To me, that's not where AI is going to help us. AI is going to help us with distribution. AI is going to help us with user preferences. AI is going to help us with that. AI is not there, and I don't think it's ever meant to be there to replace the human contact that you should want to get when you go to a hotel.
But I think that will also happen, right? I mean, if you all talk about human capital shortages in hotels, right? And maybe 10 years from now, you will have housekeepers which will be robots.
You may
not be a bad thing.
But that's not really AI.
Well, in some ways.
It's technology,
yeah,
but is
sure,
it really AI? No.
Sure. Well, you brought up AI, but coming back, Rahul, we're not talking about AI, but one decision you believe that every owner or investor will regret not making by 2030.
Yeah, so I'll answer that, if I may, obviously from a more investment perspective. And what I mean by that is, we strongly as a group feel there are three segments which is going to be the future, including regions in the next 5 years or so. One is wellness. I mean, the group owns one of the best wellness facilities, the farm in Philippines. And we believe that wellness is going to change, and Ingo stressed upon it so much, is going to change the landscape of hospitality. And that is one thing that investors should look out to and investing more. That's number one. Number two would be investing in the mid-market space in India, because we strongly believe, and I was listening to the gentleman with Make My Trip, how India is becoming a huge market and is only going to grow. And we have some huge plans for India. So mid-market space in India and in the Middle East. I heard Vijay also saying, and I agree, that the branded residence and the hotel connected with the branded residence is going to be a huge market. So these are the three areas and segments that I would say investors should look out for and focus on so that they don't regret it.
But didn't you just sell something in India, in the mid-market space? You did something with Marriott, 100 hotels or something.
Yes, so we just recently, Marriott came on board as a partner. So they took a stake in our Fern hotels. And the idea was obviously to grow that space, because Marriott also felt that the mid-market space is something that is booming, that is going to be the future in the Indian market. I mean, you can see we signed literally in May, we were at 110 hotels operating and 40 in the pipeline. Today we are at 135 and 70 signed. So you can see the growth of the mid-market space and ambitious plans of 500 hotels.
Series by Marriott, right?
Series by Marriott.
And do you think Series by Marriott will come to the Middle East? Or you're going to keep it South Asia based for now?
So as you know, Manav, that the Series by Marriott brand was created, a new brand on the backdrop of the launch of Fern Series by Marriott.
Sure.
So of course, now they're already having discussions with other such brands like Fern in different regions to bring the Series by Marriott brand. But having said that, yes, we are looking at bringing Fern Series by Marriott to other parts of the world as well.
Sure, sure. Ronald, one decision you believe every owner or investor will regret not making by 2030? Of course, they have to invest in your, right? That's the biggest.
So how many people were here for Ingo's presentation on wellness, hospitality? So I think after that presentation, if there's an owner that doesn't invest in longevity-related hospitality, that'll be a mistake we'll regret.
Right. Vijay?
I'll have two answers. One, if you're not ready for what's coming with the AI impact, and to please my other two co-panelists, for people who don't invest in RAC and Dubai South.
I'm not paying him, I promise.
Oh, that's fine. Vijay, what hospitality trend do you believe are overhyped?
Tech-driven. Because hospitality is where you're not entering a Google headquarters. You want to experience. People don't just want to stay or a holiday. They want experience. And the best experiences are provided by human beings still. And while tech is absolutely essential, but when a robo rolls down the corridor and offers you your meal on a plate, I mean, how do you feel really?
Right. Ronald,
that's a bit overhyped.
Yeah. Ronald, how about you? What do you think is overhyped in terms of hospitality trends?
Can I flip that? I
Sure.
think something that we're looking at, which I think is underhyped, is hospitality adjacent, senior living that doesn't exist here and there's demand for it, co-living. So we're looking at those. And service departments, we think those are undersupplied.
Sure. Rahul, how about you?
No, I agree with Vijay as well, that I think technology is sometimes too overhyped, and hospitality is a business of touch and feel, and it's a personalized service business, and I think hospitality is evolving, that you are selling, I mean, it's a business that you are selling experiences more than anything else, and that goes very far than anything else, if you really ask me. Technology is good, but experiences is much more.
How about you, Alison?
I agree with everything that's been said, to be honest. I think longevity is something that is no doubt going to be front and center within the industry, as it should be, and as it should be personally for everybody as well. But experiential is also absolutely key. Luxury, we talk luxury. Luxury doesn't mean expensive. It doesn't need to mean expensive. It's doing something that you cannot put a price on. And that may not cost very much. It's just that experience that somebody can have that no one else has ever done before. So, finding those experiences, to me, if we can provide those, you're going to get guests coming back time after time.
Sure. I think we'll go with a few audience questions here, and if they can put it up. The first question here is, do you think infrastructure around Marjan is sufficient to support that expected demand from the wind?
The first question and the second question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent question. We have been, as Ras Al Khaimah, at the Emirates, we are spending billions of dirhams in the infrastructure. As we planned the project, infrastructure traffic was probably front and center of the whole project. It was something that, you can look at examples around the rest of the UAE and try and take the learnings from there. The benefit that we've always had in Ras Al Khaimah is, we are blessed with space and we have some great connections that are coming through. So, it's not new news. It's been in the press. There will be a road directly from the 311 directly to the Wynn Resort. There is a bridge that's being built, an additional bridge from the mainland to the island of which Wynn is on. So, you won't have just one-way traffic going through an island and having to come back. So we are very confident that the road infrastructure that will be in place will be sufficient.
So there will be a second road as well?
There is a second road as well, yeah. And
Alison,
anyone that's been in Ras Al Khaimah at the moment knows that the roads are moving pretty much on a daily basis.
Yeah, I was, I think, at one of the sales meeting, and they were talking about air taxis. So I guess that's the third option,
We are
right?
launching air taxis as well.
Ideally, a loop from Dubai South Airport into RAC. A
So
long-term
you'll have
solution.
the Etihad rail. Like, have you got any rail plans? Like
No.
the Palm Jumeirah has that rail.
We're not looking at that at the moment because the infrastructure that we have with the change in the E11, the change in the road from the 311, the final connection to the 611, the 911, as you know, is under development as well. So there is enough traffic coming through, but you know we have a very large marina at Wynn, so there'll be boat traffic coming in. Air taxis, as you mentioned, have been looked at. We've got electric vehicles that are driving up and down Marjan Island already today, driverless vehicles. So there's every single type of interaction that we can think of to get people from A to B more easily has been thought about.
Vijay, let's take the second question. Your biggest challenge for owners that really gets enough attention. You know, you've got Marriott, Hilton, Taj. You know, what's the biggest pain point for you?
Owner's return.
Owners?
Owner's return. I think you know, that's on the lighter side. I think the operators are definitely getting definitely aware of what are the owner's challenges. It all depends on how we partner, how do you work together, so that we understand each other's perspective and make the operator understand that the end of the day, the owner is put in his money, and what matters is the owner's return with or without the commitments to the financial institutions.
Right. And Rahul, what's a non-negotiable in a hotel contract?
What is non-negotiable? I think this is linked to what Vijay said as well. I think there need to be relevant clauses out there that protects the investors in terms of getting their returns, which means performance-driven clauses there, and which needs the due attention. I think that's long and short of it. That's very important, which is non-negotiable now for any brand we work with.
Right. Last question, guys. Time's up. What would you like to drink? We're going to the bar next time.
My drink is after an hour and a half drive to Abu Dhabi. I have my staff party for all our staff in Abu Dhabi tonight, so I would not be able to join you guys. Thank you.
But thank you so much. It's great to have you. And want to just thank the audience for sitting out through this. Please do join us for drinks. We are going to walk back to the banyan tree. I know we're making you exercise, but hopefully it'll build up an appetite to have a great drink. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for that entertaining session. It was a great way to end the conference.